And so just like the geophysical event will continue to reconstruct the physicality of the Earth, the landmass of the Earth, its chemistry, its electricity, its consciousness, then of course we are also witnessing those changes, the political changes in the Middle East right now. But of course there are other places that we're not too much aware of, but you just wait, you will see there's a lot more happening on that level as well. And so it is all synchronized. It is all on purpose that this other type of chain reaction, the economies, the crises leading the people to change, to break down, to collapse their own government. It is all part of the Earth grid system needing to collapse. How do you tune into another grid system and create a new reality if you are connected to an old system? It doesn't work. You need to unplug yourself from the old system in order for you to create the new. And that is also what is happening. But again, if we look at this in particular, some Libya right now, but also there will be other countries. The outcome, or what we think the outcome is does not seem to be as successful or as positive as what we've witnessed in Egypt, for example. Although we're not done there yet, but there's the situation is turning more global, more international, and kind of becoming more bloody and things like that. But again, this is all part of the breaking down the system and human creation that has to occur also at this time. So all this again to say, more turbulence this year on all levels. Be prepared. Again, that's why I'm doing these webcasts to try to supply you with the bigger picture, because to me, that is what's going to help you move forward. If you only look at the isolated 3D event, it's very, very difficult because you're going to be dragged into the human emotions and it's very confusing. And so with the work that we're doing, the energetic work and the information, the explanation of the global picture is how I hope to be bringing some clarity and support to you. So let me stop here for just a second, take a couple of questions, and then we will continue on. So, is this the same as the pole changing like the okay, so the poles are changing, but it's not. It has to do with the electromagnetic of the planet. It's not the same as the axis shifting. The axis has to do with the again, the atmosphere and the seasons and the moon, the sun cycles of the Earth. So it is all happening. The electromagnetics are happening, and the polar shift is also happening. But like I said, none of these things will happen in one day. If the axis were to shift completely to its final position for several thousand years, of course, anyway, in one day we will all be dead, because again, our brains are connected to a whole structure, to an entire experience. If you change something so drastically, it is absolutely impossible. So the Earth movements, the chemistry, the atmosphere, the solar flares, the electromagnetics, meaning the polar shifts, all of this is happening, but it's bits and pieces at a time in a synchronized way so that you don't feel it as one drastic thing. But for those of us who are very sensitive, of course, we do feel some things. We don't know what's going on, but that's why we are sharing this information. So let's see. The discovery of Atlantis has just been announced. Interesting. Okay. Cool. Another question. I heard you say that the grid is in place. So this means that the Earth is now physically catching up with the shifts in the grid that are already established in order to maintain the coherence. Yes. So, or are we physically experiencing the grid Earth shifting at the same time? Well, it's actually both, because there is time and space, and there's also a 0 point, meaning beyond the time and space. And so the Earth grid is in place, but it's not, it's about 89%, something like that, complete. So what I mean by this is that there's enough of it that is in position that the rest of it is still yet to happen. And in fact, all of these geophysical events, all of these events, well, maybe not the political events, but the geophysical event are going to continue for many years. In other words, this is in order for the Earth to finally arrive to its final positioning, where it needs to be for the next several thousand years, we are still going to continue to have these Earth shifts way into maybe 2017, 2018, maybe 2020. So you move the axis a little bit here, you move the tectonic plates there, you shift something else on different parts of the planet until eventually it is all kind of settled into place. But the political and of course the other events of course will have a different story, so when I say the Earth grid is in place, it means that this chain reaction is going to happen, period. That's what I mean. So, but it's not final in the sense that it's over. It means that it's like a roller coaster. Okay, so it's been going up, and now the momentum is so high, you're at the top, that the only way to continue is to just flow down. So that's what I mean by it's reached that up position that allows it to now just go. Nothing will stop this. Nothing can now stop the Earth from reconfiguring itself to its next level of evolution. That's what I'm saying. No more interference, no more... there will be interferences on a small level, but on a global level, this simply cannot be undone. That's what I mean. Okay. So another question: 2 nuclear reactors in Japan are out of control. What are the implications of a potential meltdown of one of these reactors energetically to the Earth, the galaxy? Of course, again, everything is affecting everything. So as the Earth is shifting and moving itself and reconfiguring itself, it is taken into account that that certain things like this may happen. And in fact, many people think that the year 2012, everything's going to happen at once, just like the movie. And if that was the case, then the Earth simply will not make it, because there is so much toxic, there's so much nuclear material throughout the planet. And so what you are seeing happen with the nuclear reactors is pretty much everywhere. There are many nuclear plants all over the globe, and so that is the reason why the Earth will do one earthquake, even though it was pretty massive, but it will not do 2 or 3 back to back like this, or in the same region, although we will see there is a bit of a chain reaction going on now in the area. So we'll just have to wait and see. But the implications are all taken into account as it is being orchestrated also from a higher perspective. Okay? Next question. I like what you said about the Earth. Just last week on a run, I felt so much sadness and pain for the Earth. I could feel her pain and sorrow at first to me. But it really gave me a pause and helped me interact with love to Earth Okay, very special feeling and emotion. Okay, so thanks for sharing. Again, I prefer you guys if you can speak, because this box is really, really difficult for me to read, and there's so many messages. So I would appreciate it if you have a microphone to simply raise your hand and speak your comment or your question. That would be really helpful. So yes, of course, that's what I'm saying. We have to let go of our typical human conditioning that we just look at the immediate suffering and we don't put it in perspective. Of course, we have the compassion. That's why we're here, and that's the purpose of this coming together today, is to bring the support and the compassion, but not just to what we're seeing on television. There is more. There are other people suffering. There are also a bigger picture that humanity has also brought a lot of suffering to the planet, you see. So all of this is being rearranged, is being taken into account, and that's what I want to focus on. Okay, so let me see. Is feeling and seeing lower energies very close in our personal space, especially since taking the Mastering the Human Mind online, related to what is happening with the grid? And if so, how do we deal with the fear? Again, that is precisely the work that you are learning. Part of this class is you become more aware, more sensitive, more discerning. You don't just kind of allow yourself to be dragged into whatever it is. So, but to me, that is how you stop being in fear. Because if you understand and if you recognize the lower vibrations faster, then you can quickly discern it and kind of get on with it instead of allowing yourself to stay in the fear. And so that's why I'm saying this course and all of this work that we're doing should allow you to quickly shift from fear to an elevated. That's what this, you guys. We are here on the planet now to assist. This is our purpose. We're here to fulfill this purpose. And if we are all going to run around, bump into each other because of our fear, well, then how is that helpful to the rest of humanity? How is that helpful to the earth? How is that helpful to us? How is that helpful to Creator? How is that helpful at all? And so this is the time we have to be strong. At this time, during the turbulence, it's very easy to be strong when nothing's going on. When you're very safe and you're comfortable living room and nothing's happening outside and everything is fantastic. There's nothing to master. There's nothing to for you to step up to. So that's what I'm saying. I have to tell you, and I think you know it, you all came here specifically to witness what we are witnessing right now in 3D. The massive geophysical, geological, psychological, mental, emotional, physical changes to the earth and to humanity. And you chose this time. Tell me, why did you not ask to incarnate 25 years from now, after the earth is all set and comfortable in its new position? Why? Why did you choose this time to go through and witness how the earth is reconfiguring itself piece by piece, a bit here and a bit there? Because that is part of your purpose. Your purpose is you are here to witness the difficulty, the turbulence, and you stepping up through your connection, through your guidance, to step up and allow this shift to continue, to move forward the evolution of humanity and the earth itself. All right?